First century believer. Interesting. Uh-oh. I feel like I'm in for some problems here.
Hey, how you doing?
Good, man. What's up with you?
I appreciate your comedy about the Trinity. Trinity is the funniest shit, you know? It's funny. Three gods, you know, pagan is really funny stuff, you know? I really appreciate your stuff, man.
Well, I really like your fake voice, man. I really like your goofy fake European voice, man, and your bad English, man.
I am European,
Yeah,
man.
I know, I can tell, man, and your Kermit the Frog voice,
I
man.
am a real European, man.
You're a
I'm
real
not
Kermit
fake
the Frog,
European,
man.
What do you mean I'm a fake
What do you
European?
mean,
I'm a
Kermit the
real
Frog?
European.
Heidi ho, Heidi ho, who is
You're
Kermit the
not even
Frog?
funny, man. You're not funny, man. You're a swine, you're a pig, you're a dog, man.
Oh, yeah,
You're
man.
garbage, man.
Ooh.
You're garbage, man.
You're
a
garbage,
pagan
man.
polytheist.
Man.
Pagan
Yeah.
polytheist.
A big and polytheist.
You're a pagan polytheist. You're not
So
even funny, man.
this is what I'm not even funny. Dude, my mom
Yeah.
said, hold on.
Unfunny. You're completely unfunny,
You
man.
wait a minute. My
You-
mom
the only thing
my
is
mom
funny
says
about
I'm
you
funny.
is Trinity.
My mom says I'm funny.
Your God is funny, man.
My
The
mom says I'm
three-headed
funny.
monster.
My mom says I'm
Your
funny.
God is funny, man.
How
Your
dare is that,
God-
man?
Your God is funny.
How dare you, man?
Yep, your mom is funny too. I bet you. Your mom is
Yeah,
very
so
funny.
do you have do you have an argument you want to get to?
Yep. Trinity is pagan polytheism, man.
And so
It's pagan
do
polytheism.
you claim to be a Christian?
I am not the same Christian as you. I'm different.
At all, any kind of Christian.
I am a follower of the real Jesus.
Oh,
not
who's
the
the
fake
who's
Jesus.
the real Jesus?
A human being, Jesus.
So you don't accept the Gospels.
There is no such thing as the gospel. There is one gospel,
So
and
this
it's
is
not
what
a
we
book.
Yeah, right.
What gospels? That's completely fraudulent, man.
You should see what that guy looked like. So this is typically for the people on YouTube who are curious. That's what 90% of the TikTok experience is. So people are like, "How come you don't do more TikTok debates?" Because it's that, dude. You're debating Eastern European fake Kermit the Frog, right?
Are you you're Eastern Orthodox?
I am.
Interesting.
What are you?
Are you? I'm not an Eastern Orthodox. I would consider myself oneness.
Oh.
But yeah. So you believe in one divine consciousness, correct?
We we believe the Trinity has one mind that exists in the mode of three persons.
Oh, so it's pretty much just eternal modalism for the most part, right?
No, modalism is absolutely a heresy in the Orthodox Church.
Can you explain the difference between simultaneous modalism in your view?
I don't know what simultaneous modalism is. I mean, do you want to argue
What's modalism? Define modalism.
Well, the heresy of modalism, a la Sabellianism, is the idea that the persons are masks or just sort of frontispieces. They're not real distinct agents or subjects. And so for the Orthodox Church,
are you speaking of sequential modalism or successive modalism, or are you speaking of simultaneous modalism?
No, it won't matter because all forms of modalism are heretical. So class them all together.
Please explain, other than that view, theologically, what the difference is between modalism and what your view is?
So are you an anti-Trinitarian or not?
I'm not an anti-Trinitarian. I honestly don't really disagree.
So are you why are you using
Orthodox
modalism in the
teaches? I'm trying to speak. I don't disagree with a lot of tenets that Eastern Orthodoxy teaches.
Okay, what is your position? You said you're oneness. Okay,
disagreement
oneness Pentecostal is not Orthodox.
I'm not a Pentecostal, by the way. And also, oneness isn't a monolith. I hope you do know that. Neither is Trinitarianism, because there are sects like social Trinitarians.
Yeah, I'm aware. Yeah, I just had a debate with a Muslim on LPT and social Trinitarianism. I'm aware of all that.
Yeah. So we would agree to that notion that Trinitarianism isn't a monolith in any sense as well. So
no, he didn't say he was a Unitarian. He said he was a modalist.
Is there a distinction in intellect between the Father and the Son?
Yeah, so you think inseparable operations has not been dealt with or responded to?
Well, I'm asking you, is there a distinction in intellect between the Father and the Son?
Well, intellect is not typically the terminology that we use. We use the word minds.
Rationale.
Well, the distinction is in the mode that it's had, not in the trait itself.
Okay, so is the Father the prime mover of the modes of subsistence as source?
He's the first cause. He's the arche, the anarche. I wouldn't
So
call
he
him the
is the
first.
prime mover
Why do you keep
ultimately,
interrupting me? I don't know if I'd say the first mover because we don't usually typically take Aristotelian metaphysical terms for the person of the Father.
So he is the first cause of the other modes.
Yeah.
actions,
So
correct?
does the Bible teach Unitarianism in the texts of John, for example, John 17?
John 17, I would ask you whose mind is praying there.
Yeah. Well, mind is a trait of nature, not a trait of person.
Hold on. Do modes of subsistence speak or does rationale speak?
Yeah,
I
again,
want to see
you
what
don't
your
understand the
intellect
distinction.
is
Yeah, so
actually.
you don't understand the distinction between nature
I
and person.
do understand the distinction
And what
between
is
the
it?
modes of subsistence.
No, between nature and person.
Does your
Between
existence
nature and
speak, sir,
person.
or does your rationality
Between
speak?
nature. Okay, so he's not going to answer the question, so we're going to move on.
Okay. you're
Between
right.
nature and person.
So are you just gonna run from the question?
Between nature and person. You're on my stream. I'm asking you a question.
Okay. So what do you mean between nature and person?
Exactly. So you
I'm
don't
not
know
an historian.
basics of Trinitarian theology. Exactly. Lewis.
Hey Jay, I know you wanted disagreements, but I just want to take 20 seconds of your time. I'm Eastern Orthodox, but I just wanted to know, do you think a theology degree is worth it? I can afford it, nothing to do with money. Is it worth it if I was to go to an institute that may be Protestant in their teaching?
I wouldn't do it, but I can't tell you what to do.
Okay, just wanted your opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, appreciate that. Why do we need icons if the only way is through Jesus? Well, Jesus is described in Colossians and in Hebrews as the icon of the Father. So icons comes from the very idea of the incarnation and the hypostasis of the Son taking on human nature. So icons are part of the imagery of the worship of the church because the Old Testament temple and worship service and synagogue service had all of this imagery. So the place I would start, if you want to understand this, is Lewis's great documentary he made on the continuity of Old Testament worship and New Testament worship. And you'll understand when you think about the temple with the Ark of the Covenant and the imagery and the iconography in the temple, you'll understand perfectly why we do what we do, because it's a one-to-one, it's straight up continuity. That's what I'm saying. So watch this documentary by Lewis, one of the classics. It's called Orthodox Christian Worship and the Old Testament. Orthodox Shahada. This is, and will forever be, probably the best on this subject. Lewis put in a tremendous amount of time. It's a classic. So here is the link to that documentary. Orthodox Shahada is a channel, Christian worship in the Old Testament. That will give you a better grounding in why iconography. And if you want to go deeper into a good documentary on icons themselves, the place that I always recommend people start is the 3-hour icon documentary right here. The Icon, a 7-part documentary. So this is pretty much a classic in the Orthodox world. Pretty much everybody has seen that. So hopefully that will answer there. Why do we have focus on it? Well, because the temples are the temples of the Logos. So, I mean, Jesus set up the Old Testament temple, and it makes sense that his New Testament temples will be set up the same way. Apple Boys, $5. Why are Calvinists the worst people? I think that Calvinist theology has a tendency to attract people with certain issues, father issues, neuroses, and that would be the psychological reasons. Your video, General Resurrection of Mankind, is a great video. My video, General Resurrection of All Mankind. I don't even remember that video. That might be one of those clips videos. I don't know. But thank you for that. But I don't remember which video this is. Is it one of these? I don't remember which video we're talking about. Are you talking about resurrection and when we did the lectures through the whole book of John? Is that what you're talking about? I'm not sure which video that is. Maybe it's one of the videos on the Clips channels. I don't know, but
divinity raises the humanity of Christ through theosis, and that's exactly what we experience.